The Bobcats get one final sweep at home to end the regular season, always a good thing. And now we're actually joined by a member of the hockey team, goalie Chris Carlson. Chris, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
So let's get right into it. Chris, you are no stranger to big games. You've played in plenty of them this season. You played the entire CSCHL tournament while Paul Marshall was overseas playing with the ACHA All-Stars. What was it like for you when you first heard that you would be starting for the entire tournament?
It wasn't a big deal for me. Started, in junior hockey, you play 10, 15 game skids as a starting goaltender. And Paul and I have pretty much swapped starts since I've been here. So it wasn't a big deal to step in and fill those shoes.
All right, sounds good. Now, the tournament was quite a storyline. I mean, every single game, you got the revenge in round one on Kent State for the sweep in the previous week, and you upset #1 Lindenwood in round two, and then you came back to get the win over Iowa State in the championship game. What was it like for you having to keep those one-goal leads late in the game?
Getting pretty comfortable with it lately. It seems every game's going into a shootout or OT, and it's been great for us because we're a low-scoring team, but Paul and I, we could keep the score down too, and we have the forwards who could score those goals. But going into the tournament, I think the best thing that happened was us losing to Kent State. So that practice that week before the tournament was really big for us, and all the guys were real pumped up, especially since we had Kent in the first round, so escalated from there.
Yeah, definitely, you guys. The defense has learned to play the entire 60 minutes, something these rough games at the end of the season have really helped for you. Talk a little bit about that.
Like I said, the more we could play them and win them, the more confidence we're going to get and the more comfortable we are playing in 1-2 goal games. And the last couple of years, that's been the difference, is most of our losses were coming in those 1-goal games. And now that we've learned to play in them, we're taking advantage of that.
What was it like for you guys confidence-wise to be able to beat teams like Ohio State, Illinois, Oklahoma, and West Virginia? What has that done throughout the season to establish you guys as a formidable opponent?
I think the Oklahoma win was one of our biggest because we were coming up a week-and-a-half road trip, and as the last game of the trip, we were down 3 goals going into the third period. And I think that was a real confidence booster that put us back on the map of being one of the elite ACHA teams. And then it pretty much went from there, and that's when the 1- and 2-goal games started. We got comfortable playing in those games and started winning some hockey.
A little more specific confidence-wise, I wouldn't say the CSCHL tournament win was unprecedented, but certainly surprising a lot of people being able to take out the #1 and #2 seeds. What is that, and then this past weekend's sweep of West Virginia, done for you heading into the Nationals this weekend?
It was great. Like I said, we lost to Kent State, and everybody kind of pushed us out of the way a little bit as far as winning that tournament, winning a pretty middle of the late seed, and got a win versus Kent, which is normal for us. And then Lindenwood came, and Lindenwood, like you said, #1 in the country. Nobody's really touched them all year. And then coming out with a victory, and that was just absolutely huge. And you win that game, there's no way you could lose to Iowa State. So we came out hard, and we have to carry that into the national tournament as well.
Now, how do you and Paul Marshall are both juniors. Next year will be your senior year. How do you and Paul Marshall feed off each other? Do you guys give each other tips? How does that go about?
If we see something, we have to be messing up pretty dramatically to be giving each other tips, because just how it is in practice. But other than that, we push ourselves, like any other person on the team. Whenever he's doing well, I try to step it up, and vice versa. And it's a really good relationship with Paul. If I'm playing or he's playing, either one of us is both, positive and cheering the other goaltender on.
All right, now, as we've said multiple times, this weekend is the national championship, and you guys have, on Saturday, #7 seed Rhode Island for your very first game. What have you guys done to prepare for the Rams, and how do you guys see them as an opponent?
Tough for us a little bit. We haven't played against them since I've been here. But we went over a lot of video this week, worked a lot in our power play and our penalty kill, since we are playing those tight 1-goal games. That might be the difference maker in those games. But they're always a good team. They stack up well with us. They're a low-scoring team, good goaltending, good coaching, so it should be a good game.
Best of luck to the Bobcats in the national championship this weekend. Chris Carlson, goalie for the Bobcats, thank you for joining us here on set.
Thanks for having me.
That's going to do it for us, but stick around. There's going to be more Ohio Sports Zone coming up right after this.